Hello, I am BrotherFluffy, and this is Fortnite, a zombie co-op tower defense survival crafting game sort of thing. Not really, but sure. It's from Epic Games, and it's currently in early access. As I said, it's a multiplayer only game, so you join up with 3 other people, and you have different missions to collect, and you build up resources and build up your defenses and attempt to defend it against the undead hordes that are trying to eat you. I'm going to go ahead and show you a couple different things here. I'm going to go ahead and run through a simple mission so you can see how it works, how everything goes. I'll show you the storm shield, which is this thing here, which is another part, and I'll explain how that works. And then we will move on from there to take a look at all of these fun little trees here and that sort of thing. I won't be going into any spoiler territory, so I'm not going to be doing any of these missions here. But as you can see, there's quite a few different missions, and we are going to be going ahead and trying to get some of these done. I'm going to see if I can get the destroy fire trucks and destroy transformers, and best place to do that is in a residential zone. We gotta ride the lightning here, which is a nice good one we can do on our own without worrying about being under a time crunch, because some of these are timed, where you have to get your defenses up in a certain amount of time, get everything set up and good to go in a certain amount of time. So we're just going to hop into a lobby here. And it's loading that up, and it's going to load anybody else who else is going to be here, who else is going to show up. It is a bit of slow, but that's really more my computer than anything else. And there's my hero, the female constructor, Controller Harper. And if I click on here, I have several different options here. I can show the head accessory, where she's got a nice hat, but I like her natural hair better. We also have gadgets, which are 2 fun little... Oh, there's somebody. 2 fun little additional things you can get for running missions. There's supply drop, which gives you 60 wood, 60 stone, 60 metal, which you need for crafting. There's airstrike, which drops, as the name implies, a boatload of bombs. There's a banner, and there's healing. I like to go with airstrike and healing because I find I use those the most. You can also edit the hero squad, which is I can edit my supporting squad, which gives me bonuses, my defenders, which also give me bonuses, and I can also select from the team of heroes here. It breaks down to 4 classes: Constructor, Outlander, Ninja, and Soldier. Soldiers are, as the name implies, just straight up DPS. It's their job to hurt things and cause damage. Outlanders, they go around and collect supplies. And constructors, like Harper here and German Pie here, their job is to build things. They build things faster. Their tree allows you to upgrade and improve building health, that sort of thing. And then the ninja is high mobility. He's very fast, or he or she is very fast. They jump around a lot. They can do a lot of quick damage, but they don't have a lot of health. They're very much glass cannons here. Obviously, you can. There's no specific weapon sets. You can craft your own weapons, but you don't have a specific weapon that any class has to use. Like a soldier can pick up a rocket sledgehammer and use it just as well as a constructor can. However, a constructor does have set bonuses for using rocket hammers. Okay, and here we are. And as you can see, we're in a city, and I have objectives here. I've got to locate Lars' van, which I'll show you once we find it. We also have an additional objective of speedrun, which is finish it in 2 days. That is plenty of time. Oh, what's this over here? Ah, a radar dish. Okay, so if you wanted to, this nice person is showing us here. They're showing us how to make. They're going to build a radar fort, and when I get that radar fort built at a disgustingly fast pace, my God. What's going to happen is the radar tower is going to show us nearby survivors. And the whole point is to, as I said, that this is a survival crafting sort of game. And what that means is that you take apart stuff with your pickaxe like that, and you search stuff for traps, other goodies, get rusty mechanical parts. This is all stuff you need for crafting. And then what you do is you use it to craft traps, to build things. There we go. Just like that. And so that is one transformer down. Okay. And so basically what we do is, before you set up, you want to try and get as many supplies as you possibly can. In this case, if you look in the upper left-hand corner there of the screen, you'll see a few things. You'll see wood, stone, in this case it looks like bricks, and steel or metal. And what you do with those is you use them to build stuff, like the radar tower we saw. Oh, somebody's shooting. Okay. Ah, blue glow. And you also see one, the human person, the silhouette of a human is a survivor, how many survivors we found. And the blue is blue glow, which is kind of your catch-all power source here. You grab it like so, and then that's in your inventory. You use it to power up either the radar towers, if there's one on the map, or to find different boosts throughout the area. What I'm going to do here is, as you can see, I'm chock full on metal, so I don't need any metal. I do need stone because I'm flat out for quite a few things. Here's one of the events you can do called an encampment. Ooh, that's a chest for a reward. So I'm actually going to go ahead and get started here. I'm going to start off by showing you one of the constructor's powers here, which is to call a decoy. There we go. And there's an airstrike for good dramatic effect. And that's it, okay. And that encampment is cleared, and once you clear out these encampments, which as you saw were the zombies with the standing around that big tomb looking thing, you get, there we go, you get rewards for it. In this case it looks like the reward is a chest reward. So we're gonna, oh, they put it right on, there we go. Ah, look at all that stuff. And my backpack's full. Okay. And pretty much everything out here can be destroyed for... Oh, uh-oh. Anyway, as I was saying, anything that can be destroyed in the world, anything can be destroyed in the world. Pretty much all this here, I can break all this down. Dang, zombies in the middle when I'm trying to do a show. Alright. I think that's all of them for now. There's a group over there, but they seem to be asleep, so we're going to let them nap while I go ahead and work here. As I was saying, inventory's full, so I'm going to show you some of the crafting here. You go in here and you see all the wonderful goodies you got here. Bullets, traps, crafting materials. Okay, and as you can see, I have a lot of rough ore, which I quite frankly do not need. So we're gonna go ahead and drop these. There we go, so we can pick up that trap.
For you.
Alright. And as I said, this is really the meat of the gameplay here. You're just gonna be running around. Yep, saw that coming. Alright. And if you notice when you recycle it, get extra stuff. Okay. Alright. As I said, you're going to run around mostly trying to scavenge stuff. Then you do get bonuses for finding things, for if you complete quests, if you find survivors. Like, for example, sometimes you'd find a survivor here. And they'd basically say, help you, and then you'd help them, and they'd leave you a reward.
Prepare for liftoff.
Ah, somebody found Moses' van. Okay. Ah, German Pie has located the van. So we're going to go ahead and pull this up here and take a look. Okay, and you can actually see there's a survivor in the upper northwest corner there, the little blue little chest piece looking icon. I am the yellow triangle down to the bottom. I'm spinning around like an idiot so you can see me. And the other green sort of Ouija board tokens are players. The blue splotches are blue glow. And the exclamation point is the van. Bacon. And so what we're going to do here is we're going to around collect stuff. You also get bonuses, so if you explore the entire map, you get a bonus for that. And I always recommend thoroughly searching the area because you need these components. I still need a boatload of stone for my fort, because it's not just the stuff you get here. It's the stuff you get elsewhere. Okay. It's the stuff you get the stuff you get here. You don't use it for just the defenses here. You use it for the defenses back at your base back home. And I'll show you what I mean by that here shortly. But mine these resources. Oh, hit a bit of a lag spike. You can't mine these resources at your home base. Oh, triggered them up.
Die, weirdies.
Oh, buzz off. Alright. Looks like all the radar shows clear. And back to mining. Now, I love the art style about this. I like the cartoony, sort of silly feel you got to it. As you can see, the zombies aren't exactly exactly scary here. Everything is very stylized, very cartoony. A lot of people have said it's similar to WildStar, if anybody's familiar with that MMO, which I agree with. It's definitely definitely a lot of similarities here in terms of the visual kind of stylized art design here. There's also plenty of good characterization. The characters themselves are just an absolute delight. Now I have, actually let me go ahead and turn, make sure we got subtitles on so you can read some of these. Okay, there we go. There we go. As I said, search these, you mine stuff. But the character comments are just great. The characters will give you constant feedback on how they're doing, what they're doing. If you try and do something they can't do, they'll tell you no. For example, if I try and reload her weapon here.
Sorry.
Just tell me no. If you use up all of her sprint stamina here, which I'm bad to, she'll give you a funny line. Some of these best lines go to the male constructor, though.
Can I rest?
As the male constructor will in fact call you a monster for forcing him to keep running.
Slow it down.
Now it's important to note that each class has a male and female variant. Now the audio lines are all the same, but the actual physical characteristics on each are very, very different from person to person. This is a really, really diverse class. There's lots of pretty much every single nationality background that I can possibly think of is represented here. Now the nationalities are obviously not nationalities, races are all really well represented here. I think I have 3 constructors. Again, each one is vastly different, both in appearance as well as what their abilities are. For example, I have Controller Harper. I have a friend who has Penny, who is the constructor who you see on the box art, the blonde with the pink highlights in her hair. I have an ability that allows me to put down a decoy, as you saw earlier, that will draw zombies to it, and that will draw people to it. But my friend on Penny doesn't have that ability. They have Bull Rush, which allows them to basically charge the enemy. And each constructor... Uh-oh, they found me.
Next.
Yeah, okay, so as you can see, there's different... Oh, okay, somebody triggered in camp, and that's what happened. Oh, hello! That's beautiful right there. And that's beautiful because I needed that. One of the things you use to make ammo is metal, wood, and nuts and bolts. Now, metal and wood are very easy to come by. Obviously, as you can see, I've got metal maxed out. Wood, it's not maxed out, but I also started with not a whole lot. But nuts and bolts, those are, well, the nuts and bolts of a lot of crafting. So I'm going to go ahead and use this to craft more ammo for my guns. And actually, just talking about weapons here, if you look there in the bottom right-hand corner of the screen, you'll see... Yes, it should be. You'll see 4 colored squares. One is always going to be your harvesting tool. Basically, it's pickaxe, but harvesting tool. 2, 3, and 4 are all weapons. I have 2 and 4 set up with my range weapons. I have a heavy pistol, basically a 6-shot heavy revolver. I have a light machine gun, and I have this axe. And as you notice, on the 3 weapons, there's decreasing bar on each of them. That's their durability. Yes, this does have weapon fragility in it. No, that's not a bad thing in this case, and I'm going to tell you why here shortly. Now, once the weapon runs to 0 durability, it breaks. Now, at first, I didn't think that was a good idea. I didn't like that. I am not a fan of weapon fragility. It's the idea that you could take, a battle-tested item and hit somebody in the face with it a couple of times before it breaks. You wind up not using the stuff. I don't care for it. I don't like the fact that, like you might get a good sword and say, oh, well, I really like the sword, but do I really want to use it on this bad guy, and have it break, or have it take a lot of durability, and then use it in a tougher boss fight, or save it for a tougher boss fight, and then wind up never using it because you're just hoarding it for fear of the next one. It's just added stress.
Storm data has been updated on your
Okay.
radar. Build defenses around the van. Flip the switch when you're ready.
Okay, and what they did is they put blue glow to start the van, and what they did is so they can see where the storm's coming from. If you see those purple circles there, that's kind of forming a crescent around the van, that's where the storm's coming from. And what they're trying to do is before it we got our defenses set up. And a bit of a lag spike there. As I was saying, yeah, weapon fragility, not a fan. I do not like it in most games, especially horror games. It always feels like a hello ammo cache. Very nice. Now the stuff I can't pick up because other people can actually pick this up. They can come back behind me and they can pick it up and they can use it. So if I mine, I still get points for mining this stuff, but other people can come in behind me and pick this up, which is nice. But as I was saying, weapon fragility, not a fan. But in this here, it works. It really does work because one of the really nice things about it is that, yeah, it's durability, yeah, it's weapon fragility, but once you get an item's schematics, you can make it over and over again. So when my legendary axe goes out, I can make myself a new one.
Our fort's under attack?
Thank you, Ray. And the more I make, it allows me to keep making these. So as long as I have the resources, as long as I have the parts, I can keep making these weapons. And what's really nice is that I can actually level these schematics up, and I'll show you that a bit later. But when you level these schematics up, one of the things I absolutely love about it is that you can go ahead and make yourself the same weapon, only it will be stronger this time because you've leveled up the schematic. And that's something that's really nice. So if you have something that you're really fond of, so if you find a gun and you're like, ooh, I really love, you're going to find schematics more often than you're going to find weapons. In what I've seen so far. That may not be the case for everybody because there is a great deal amount of RNG here. And I'll get to that later. But I do enjoy all of the fact that you do get more schematics than you do just individual weapon drops. And I really like that because it allows you to, if you get a good schematic, if you get a schematic of a weapon you're really fond of, you can put so much time and energy into upgrading the schematic, and as long as you've got the parts for it, you can keep making that weapon when it breaks. But you do have to be mindful of when it breaks, and you do have to kind of plan a couple steps in advance, which yeah, I appreciate that. This is a crafting game, so obviously it makes sense you'd want to craft the weapons. But I do love that actually crafting ability in the game. And the fact that if you do have something you find and you are a really big fan of, like this giant power axe, basically, straight out of 40K. It's just, I really like that. I like the fact that I can keep it. I like the fact that I can keep upgrading it. You know, it's a legendary schematic, so I can do as much with it as I want. Alright, and here's the storm, which is where all the zombies come from. As you can see, it gets dark and scary and ominous. Ooh, it's spooky. Ah, and they're starting. Okay, so I better move my butt over. That's the only bad thing is once you... Whoa. Uh-oh. Getting the heck out of here. Alright.
Guys are relentless.
We've got a bonus in play.
Ah, bonus. Okay. What's the bonus? What's the bonus? Van health above 80. Okay. Oh, nice setup here. As you can see, we got a whole bunch of stuff here. Okay, and I'm going to show you the constructor's other power, which you can actually see out there. Which is, you put down this little doohickey thing. And it energizes the wall, so anybody attacking it actually takes damage. Uh-oh, Screamer. Ah, there's... Oh, not a Screamer, a Smasher. There we go. There we go. Okay. Now, as you can see, there's lots of different monster types here. Not just regular zombies. You've got, I don't want to call them special infected, but basically different subtypes. You got husks, which are the default bad guys here. You've got husky husks, which are the portlier fellows here. They take a lot more damage, and they do a lot more damage. As you can see, it takes only a couple hits from a husk. It just ruins your day. Alright, and almost done here with the first wave. This has a couple waves to it. Oh boy. And I'm gonna go ahead and build. There we go.
Bonus challenge success. Good job, team.
There we go, and we succeeded the bonus challenge, so we got...
Not bad. I think we'll need a little more blue glow.
Okay.
Add blue glow and get
So
ready
we're
to
gonna put in
defend
the
the
blue
van.
glow.
Flip the switch when you're ready. Check your map for updated
I'm
storming.
actually gonna add a roof here.
Activate final launch sequence when you're ready. Defend the van.
And I'm actually gonna place a trap once these are up.
We've got
Good, they're adding traps. Excellent. And got another one. Let's go.
Stay in the fight.
Upgrade. Okay, cool. Now, some of these other more colorful characters you've seen here, you have the Lobber, who's like a mortar enemy. Got to deal with hurt range. You got a Husk here. Oh. There's another Lobber out there. It's a nice lady with an evening dress who seems to throw fire out of her head. I guess she was really... there we go. Pitcher. I'll see if I can get a pitcher. Oh, boy. Hate these guys. They burn both their shield and armor. There we go. Now, I didn't have that quest objective, but because I was there, what's really nice is, despite the fact that I'm not on that quest, I can still help someone else out. So if someone else sees something, they can pick it up and they can help you out, which is really nice. Okay. Let's get a look at the Lobber up close here. Ain't she pretty? No, not really. There we go. And here we have a pitcher. And there he went. He's a baseball-looking fellow who throws bones. Alright. Whoa. Nice. Okay, and this is one of the Outlanders' bonuses that they can put down what's called a loot pinata, where you harvest it for... Another lag spike there. There we go. Now, you can also repair these structures. It will take more materials to repair it, but that is how this works. You can't repair anything you didn't build. So these walls here, once they go down, they go down. But the ones we built, we can keep repairing until they're completely destroyed. Another Lobber. More Lobbers.
30 seconds left to go.
Gonna switch my...
Launch in 3,
There we go.
2, 1, lift off! Bonus challenge success! Good job, team! That's the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. Quick, someone airbrush that on Velvet! Godspeed, Lars! May the King of Olympus guide your journey.
He always does!
Ah, it's beautiful. And yes, he goes up in his van with 4 boots on into the atmosphere to find out research on the storm, which is the big thing that's kind of the big bad that's basically killed 98% of the population and turned them all into zombies. Ah, right there. Oh well. But here's our loot bonus. You get bonuses for not overbuilding, launching the van, not taking 80% of it. And there we go. Level 4 loot. And that's one single match. And that's basically what you're going to be doing most of in terms of gameplay. Go out, mine stuff, get quest objectives done out there. I didn't have any to show you really. You got some daily challenges, but nothing. And that's here's more stuff. Okay. So as we complete daily quests and missions, we get crafting components, we get XP, And we get these Founders coins, and we use that. Yay! Okay, we use that for loot. And when you loot, we can get upgrades in these llamas. So what we'll do here.
Ooh, that looks sharp.
And yes, they will all talk to you.
Have at it.
There we go.
Oh yeah, you got the goods.
Alright, and that's what you get in the loot crate. You get random items, you get some survivor XP, I got schematics for a fractured axe, schematics for a sniper rifle, a slug gun, and founders coins. And that actually allows me to claim this llama, so I'm going to do that.
You even know how to use that thing? Walk away, friend. Whoa, check out this hall.
Oh, hey! Nice, I got a new hero. Nice. Oh, very nice. Okay, yeah, I got actually a soldier character, which I have not gotten yet, so we're actually going to go to the army, check that out. And this is where you're going to spend the rest of your time. With all this stuff, but before we delve into that, I do want to go ahead and show you the Storm Shield. And each zone, right now there's 4 zones. There's Stonewood, Plankerton, the Canny Valley, and Twine Peaks, which I love. Canny Valley and Twine Peaks are just great names. And you're going to have each one. And you're going to get each one has its own storm shield. And you're going to build a base around the storm shield, and you're going to slowly level it up and build up defenses around it. With this one, I just decided to get a little silly with it, a little bit over more than I needed to, but it's still fun. Okay, and for some reason there's a weird bug that if I turn on subtitles, it turns off the head accessory and vice versa. So this is the Storm Shield, this is your other base, this is permanent. Now the changes you make here, they do not change. Like if I go back in that city map, it's going to be a completely different city map. But the Storm Shield is permanent. Everything I build in here stays here for as long as I am logged into the game or until it is destroyed.
We're not ready to expand, but it never hurts to prepare. Check out the Storm Shield console menu to deposit resources, or return to the map. You can leave any time by selecting Leave with Party from the Storm Shield console.
Thanks, Ray. Alright, and here it is. Fortfluffy. That's right, I have way too much free time on my hands. Actually, that's a complete lie, but still. I spent a lot of time just scraping up the stone together to build this. But basically, this shows you what you can do when you have a big imagination and a lot of resources. If you noticed, in the last mission, I was building only with metal. I wasn't building with stone. And I was doing that because, well, I need the stone for this. But this is the base interior of the Storm Shield, as you saw in the art there. The Storm Shield console is here. And that allows you to access the menu. And I can expand the shield when it's ready. Obviously, Ray said it's not. That'll come at pre-planned times during the storyline. And then I can also deposit things here. I have 10 storage slots, and I can actually put stuff in here that I'm not using. For example, I'm going to go ahead and drop in... Let's see. Go ahead and drop in this trident. No, not ammo. That's fine. And I just do not need all of these rough ores here. And when I do need them, I will go ahead and get them. There we go. And that frees up quite a few slots here, which is what I need. But yeah, this is what happens. This is the interior. Oh, and it looks like these actually took a little bit of damage, so we're going to repair those. But this is the interior. As you can see, I've got ceiling traps, wall traps, floor traps. These are all basically the best things that I can craft. Floor spikes. Oh, need to repair there. And these walls, you can actually shoot at them. It's not going to damage them. You can't jump through or climb through the windows, which I thought was kind of, wasn't about to be cool if you'd be able to do that, but, well. Alright. But this is the interior on the first level. And you can build doors or windows by going to the by going to the edit menu. See here, you can change things. You can build it with windows, you can build them with doors, you can build all sorts of fun stuff. You can build these little buttresses, the battlements here. These are defender pads. And if you can basically put a defender up here. This one's trained to fight with assault weapons.
An assault rifle'd be handy, Commander.
And it shows you exactly her range of coverage and what she'll do. Now, if I wanted to, I could basically drop an assault rifle here.
Drop any rifles you don't need, and I'll help fight.
Exactly.
My kind of weapon.
There we go. Excellent. Carry on, soldier. More of this. And this is just to give you an idea of all the stuff you can actually build here. And this is all just stuff I've built just with just wood, stone, and a whole lot of patience and a whole lot of resources. This has been going on for about the past week and a half of just me building this. Now you do not need to build anything this ridiculously over the top in order for it to work. You just don't. This was just me with basically too much free time in my hand. And just going a little crazy here. Now the bottom one, actually, I would say yeah, but the top, anything past the first level, really not. You don't need the defender outpost, sure, but the second story and all that stuff, you don't need it. All right, now what you can do is, as you've seen, you can upgrade the building materials. So you pay a little extra stone, and you get a little extra defenses. Now these upgrades do have higher health than their original counterpart. So they're stronger, they take more hits. Of course, it also costs more resources to repair or replace them if they are damaged. See, this is sitting on, and this is actually a heal pad. This will heal you up. These are spikes. If you step on these, the enemy gets hit with spikes to do massive damage. These wonderful Tesla looking things are an electric field, so anything that gets within the field gets zapped, which is very nice. This is gas. This is a damage over time. The more they stand under it, the more they get damaged. This is the defender pad. I have one at all four corners, another healing pad. And then just, there's the edge of the storm shield. You can't go past it. But as you can see around here, you can actually be able to expand these out further with these different little, I believe these are called some sort of accelerator stations, and it just expands out the shield a bit more, pushes it back, so you can get at all those goodies that you see out there. Like, I can't get to that rock, that tree, that bush out there. But once I do finally get out there, I'll be able to go ahead and loot those resources. And that'll help me to build more defenses and more defenses etc., etc., etc. And this was, as I said, mostly just everything from the second story on up. You don't need. I just really wanted to show what you could do with this game if you had the time and the resources and just the creativity to just do something fun. I'm sure other people have done way crazier, way cooler things than what I've done, but I enjoy it so far. So this is basically this is everything. Now you'll occasionally do defense missions, which is again exactly like the defense mission we ran with Lars in the van, where there's a timer. You got to fight out hordes of enemies. They're gonna come from one direction.
Oh, knackered.
And you just got to fight them off until the time runs out. And if you and your base are left standing by the time it goes off, congratulations, you win. If you're not, well, that's a loss, and you have to start all over again. And that sucks. But so far, it's not too difficult, as long as you have a good group. In fact, you can solo some of the early stuff at level, if you wanted to. It's not terribly hard. It's a lot more frustrating, and you are relying a lot more on the base defenses than you are just the normal 3 people.
Could use a rest.
As you can clearly hear, she's a little tired, so from all that sprinting. So let's go ahead and leave out of here. Oh, look at all that XP I'm gonna get. Alright. There we go, I'm returning to base now, and I'm going to show you what all the stuff that we have here. This is basically the main quest line, so each zone has its own quest. You've got to run through each quest. For example, I've got to find 3 pop parts. If you don't know what that is, well, you'll find out eventually. And this is what you get. You get 2 mini reward llamas. The mini reward llamas are basically, they're like the regular llamas, but they're smaller. And they drop a little less loot. It's not as common. Here's the schematics. Here's all the stuff that you get. This is, you can sort it out by new, ranged, set it by rating, that melee, traps, all that fun stuff. Here's what you need to build it. So it'll actually tell you what it is and where you need it and how much you need of it. So for example, I need 1 rotating gizmo, occasionally found in chests and toolboxes. So I've got to get these out in the world, or they've got to be quest rewards. I cannot craft this on my own. Simple mechanical parts. Crafting ingredients found in toolboxes, creates them by destroying mechanical objects. You get some of these when you destroy cars. Very easy to find. You get them from destroying fridges, cars, any kind of advanced appliance. Blast powder, that's something you make. You make it from coal. And silver ore, which is something you basically mine. You have to mine it. You have to mine it in order to get it. But it also shows you what the bonuses are. I have a 45% bigger magazine size. I reload faster, so I can shoot more bullets without reloading. And when I have to reload, do it quicker. And then once I get it up to level 15, I get a 21% crit chance. And then I can actually compare this with other ones, and it'll show how much more damage I get. So like, for example, the Assault Raptor doesn't do a lot of damage. However, it's more durable. And the reload time's a little lower, but it doesn't have the same kind of impact. The light machine gun will stagger pretty much anything short of one of what I like to call the boss monsters. The Smasher, which is the big hulking guy you saw, and the Taker, which is basically the ghost. Everyone else will be staggered by a light machine gun. Now, it's not terribly accurate. If you just basically hold down the trigger, it's going to spray everywhere. That's fine if they're up close and you need to get out, but if you're doing any kind of long-range fire, burst fire it. As you see, now, some of these I do have duplicates of, and the duplicates of, I can do different things with them. First thing is I can check the collection book, where you will get points and resources for trading stuff in. So, for example, all these assault rifles, once I get them, I can actually take them, and I can upload the schematic. Now, it's permanently slotted. So if you slot this, it's gone for good. So keep that in mind when you slot this. I usually don't slot anything until I know something I'm not going to use, like a sniper rifle, because I'm terrible with those, or I have 2 of the same schematic. Now it looks like I've actually already filled up all the schematics here. Let's see. Traps. What about traps? How many wall spikes do I have? Nope, 1. I want to keep that. 1. I want to keep that. I'll go ahead and put that one up there because it's a ceiling zapper and I already have a better one. So I'm going to submit that. It's permanently locked and I get this XP bar. Now as you see, when it fills up, I get XP, which allows me to use it up. And then I can use things like, use it to further things out. Now, one of the things I can do here is I can recycle these, which means I get experience points for them. So basically, I don't need this, I don't need this, I don't need this, this. I already got one of these. Don't need you. Don't need you or you. Or you. Don't need you. And don't need you. Okay. And once I have these, I confirm recycle. I'm going to recycle all these. And I'm going to get XP for these. Alright, and then what I can do is I can actually upgrade these. So I'm going to upgrade it, and it's going to show you what's going to go up. I'm going to more impact. And it's going to do more damage, which is what I want to see. Going to go and level that up. Now it's level 15, and that opens up our 21% crit chance. So that's good. So now light machine gun is excellent. And we're also going to level up the axe, in case I want to axe anybody any questions. I can hear you groaning from here. And you can even upgrade the traps to do more damage. So for example, I've unlocked level 5, so I'm 10% trap damage. At level 10, it gets even more trap damage. So get that bad boy up to 7. Or sorry, 6. Okay. And obviously, leveling up the rares, the epics, the legendaries is going to be a lot more resource and time intensive than leveling up the greens and the grays. But there's a certain point where the greens and grays, you don't need to level them up because you're going to get a lot of good stuff just naturally through playing the game, doing the rewards, and these loot crates. Here you have the heroes. So as I said, you can view them and see if they're ready to be upgraded. It's Controller Harper here. Here's Sentinel Hype, which is another one of the constructors. She has decoy as well, but what she has is Plasma Pulse, where you basically put down a device right at your feet that pulses out and does plasma damage for half a second for 10 seconds. So it just buzz, 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 and it just continues to damage anybody who's walking into it. So it pairs well with the decoy. These are the ninja classes. This is Stonefoot. They can use a smoke bomb to slow enemies and deal damage. Mantis Leap, which means they can double jump. and they take less fall damage. This is an epic ninja. This is Ken, who's actually the ninja from the trailer and the cover art. As you can see, like I said, huge diverse cast. A lot of, you got Outlander Deadeye here, and then you've got Outlander Jess. I'm actually going to, Pathfinder Jess. I'm going to go ahead and level her up a bit, because I do like the Outlanders. They get a lot of resources very, very quickly. And they have Loot Llama, which is that loot crate we saw, and Teddy, which is a giant mechanical bear that has miniguns for arms. So the second it gets deployed, it's this giant mechanical bear. It's bigger than any of the heroes, even the constructor heroes. Promptly says, "I am a bear, you are not a bear," and then proceeds to murder everything around it. It's the first time you see it. If you don't know what it is, it's gonna scare the heck out of you and leave you wondering what the heck you saw. This is our new hero, Banshee. She has a grenade, which is area of effect damage. She has War Cry. Now, if you notice, they all have 1 star except for Harper and Hype, which have 2 stars. Now, as you level them up, you can only level them up so far. You can level them up to level 10 on 1 star, and then you have to evolve them up to the 2-star status. Honestly, it's not worth really evolving the greens, just because of the fact that that's a lot of resources and energy going into it that you're going to have to, at some point, refund in order to get a different character. I would recommend just wait for the rares. Level them up to level 10 or whatever, because you will get that back. When you retire a hero permanently, you do get all of that XP back. So let me go ahead and retire Jess here, but I'm not going to actually retire her. But if you look here, I get 3,235 XP, which is almost all the XP I've put into her. So I don't want to go ahead and do that, though, so we're going to leave that alone. Now, these check marks indicate who's where, and this is Tank Penny from the trailer, the box art, that sort of thing. Again, same character voice, but it's same character voice, but as you can see, vastly different appearances. They all still have the same emotes, like when you pick constructor, as you saw, each constructor does that flex and then the double flex thing for the hands on hips. The ninjas do kind of a standing kick. The Outlander, I think they just kind of punch their hand, that sort of thing. But here we have Shock Trooper Renegade, who's a soldier. He emits a shockwave, which knocks people. It's a knockback effect, which is nice. So each one has different abilities, and then they have different tactical abilities as well, which you use for your hero. So, for example, this one buffs shield maximum shield by 10. So that gives my shield a nice boost. I like having that. And then the second one is the tactical bonus, which gives this firewall, gives me that. Now that's locked. I still need to level her up enough to the point where I can unlock it. And these are your mission defenders. So when you put a defender pad down, these are the 3 characters you can pick to summon. Defender is exactly what you saw. Again, you can search by range, assault rifle, melee, etc., etc. And then we have survivors. Now, survivors aren't interesting. They're kind of your bread and butter. And what that's going to be is these guys give special bonuses to you. You add these guys to your squads, which give you bonuses. So, for example, I haven't unlocked all the squads yet. I still have 2 more to go, but I have also a boatload of slots to unlock for each one. But what you do is you try and give a lead that has a team match. So, for example, this is the EMT squad. So I want to put a survivor who's got a doctor. So in this case, job match. So that's good. I want to try people who have the same personality. In this case, she's dependable, so I want to put other dependable survivors there. And it boosts their overall rating. So from she was 16, she's now 18 because she's got that boost. And I'm going to go ahead, and they also add additional bonuses like shield regen bonus, melee damage bonus, and all of this factors, plus your base, factor into your home base power. So higher the power, more tougher missions you can take on, more opportunities that open up to you. And then you have the Expedition Squad, which is you send your heroes out on gathering missions. So if you need supplies, what you can do is you would just select one of these and then prepare a mission. Now, you have different modes of transport. I'm currently on a mission. Once you send your hero on a mission, they cannot be called back. So if you send someone out on a mission like, oh, I didn't mean to send that one out, that's it. Too bad. You're stuck with that person being gone for however long it is. And then there's the skill tree, which is basically when you level up, you get points. You put them in the tree. Right now I'm working on the constructor tree so I can get the tier 3. Tier 3, and there are also little visual upgrades. As you can see, that constructor's got a backpack and some sort of enhancements to his arm and that sort of thing, which is pretty cool. And it unlocks different features and different bonuses like the banner, better airstrike. This is a proximity mine. And there's 4 tiers of each. And then there's the research tier, which you gain research points by, well, just showing up and hitting the collect button. You can store up to 2,000 now. It starts out a lot lower, but as you fill this up, it's pretty much straight upgrades, more damage, more health, better tech, shield regen, that sort of thing. So that's the game. Pretty much everything that you will see in the game, and I know it's a lot to cover, but I did want you to see everything we had. Now, here's what I like about the game. I love the core gameplay. It's fun, it's frantic. It really depends. If you get a good group of friends, even pugs. I've done a lot of puppies, and it's been a blast. I think the only time I really had a big problem was the first one, where everyone, I guess, had already played the first mission, or they just wanted to get through it, but they didn't really allow me to explore anything. They just set up the atlas and they were done in 2 minutes, which left me scrambling like a maniac. And that was the only time they really kind of just charged forward and didn't give anyone time to prepare or do anything. Everyone else the whole time has been great. With your friends, it's especially good. It's just a blast. Again, it's just the weapons are fun and varied. I really enjoy the weapon crafting mechanic. I actually enjoy the weapon fragility system. It adds another nice layer onto it. And this is coming from a guy who absolutely loathes these things. Now, I like the lines. Everything's witty and funny and just really well written, and it's made me laugh and chuckle on more than one occasion. It's definitely got a great sense of humor about it. The voice acting is all excellent. I've definitely recognized a couple people. I know Fred Tatasor is, who's Soldier 76, Saren. He's doing quite a few voices, which is just, he always kills it. All of the heroes have great voices. They all have really funny lines. What I don't like is that pretty much all of your upgrades come through llamas. And
We're ready to expand again. When you're ready to start the fight, select Expand Shield from the Storm Shield console.
Thank you. Oh, amplifiers, that's what they're called. Anywho. Now, the issue I have is that these loot boxes are really just... You're really dependent on them. And while the game's going to be going free to play, that's fine. The fact that you are so dependent upon loot boxes for your pretty much anything, I'm not a fan of, especially that and the research tree, which is just it's a grind. It's a really big grind, and it makes me feel like it was a grind that was designed to basically force you into paying. It feels almost like a mobile game in terms of how much time you're going to have to put into these skill trees and these research points and managing survivors and, you know, the grinding for XP or that sort of thing. By the way, that was a jump pad. That was a directional jump pad that, which is as the name implies, sends you flying across the map, which is nice if you need to get around in a hurry. Which in later missions you definitely will, or in this case, later expansions. This is my storm shield at my main base. These are amplifiers, and this is just basically what I've done. What we've done. I've had a lot of help from my friends in building this up. They supplied a lot of materials, a lot of this stuff. They worked really hard on this with me. So props to them, to Vanny and Max and Cole and everyone else who's been helping me out here. Thanks so much. But yeah, it does feel like a mobile game, especially when it comes to everything beyond the core gameplay loop of find survivors, find material, build a base, survive the night, that sort of thing. So it does kind of bother me about that. It's not my favorite, but it is still a really fun game at the core of it. And if it's free to play, I definitely say it's worth checking out when it goes free to play. It's in early access right now. Honestly, this is one of the most polished early access games that I've seen. Now, I know I had a lot of lag hitching earlier during the games, and that's probably on my end. It's not used to streaming the game or recording the game while I'm playing it. It will occasionally hiccup, but again, like I said, this is early access. And the biggest glitch I've seen is, as I said, if you turn off the head accessory, it turns off subtitles, and if you turn on subtitles, it turns the head accessory back on. Don't know what that's about. Filed a bug report with them, but I'm sure they'll get to it. But that's seriously the worst bug they have in an early access title for a game that's not going to come out until next year. I really have to commend them on the sheer level of polish that they've put into this. Again, it's really going to come down to these survivors, defenders. It really does feel like a mobile game at times, where you are spending so much time micromanaging all this stuff and the collection book and that sort of thing. And the sending squads out for resources. I mean, don't get me wrong, this is nice. This is nice that you can basically set it and forget it. Like, this guy's going to come back in 24 minutes, but I don't got to worry about that. You know, it's like I can send somebody out on an 8-hour mission before I go to bed and get back, or before I go to work, and when I get back, hey, it's like I got loot, so I don't have to worry about trying to find stuff when I'm out there. It does help a bit. And the side quests, you know, that there are side quests that will give you the currency for this loot here. But again, I kind of wonder how that's going to work out. I have reservations that right now, like, they give you like 14 free llamas or something like that. Yeah, 18 daily loot pinata packs. So you get a lot of stuff right out the gate. I don't know if they're going to give that out when it goes free to play. I mean, it's $20 right now, which is honestly not the worst thing ever. But it's also, again, very dependent on our RNG, unless you want to buy stuff. So it's just, I have concerns. I'm not gonna lie, especially when it's, you know, it's like $10 is the earliest stuff for the V-Bucks, for the loot crates. But as I said, overall, it's a really fun game. It's in early access right now. I'll put a link in the description so you can go directly there. You can buy it now, or if you know a friend who's picking up the one of the, I believe it's this one, yeah, this the Founders Bundle. You get a couple different copies of the game to give to people. Yeah, you get +2 digital standard editions for a friend. So I think this is +1 standard edition. So if somebody buys, and if you want to buy this for a friend, you can pay the 50, or if you want to buy this for a couple friends, you can pay the 110 and get them in now. Or you can wait till 2018. Honestly, it's a good game. It's coming along nicely. Again, it's for an early access game. This is more polished than half the games that have come out on release. Looking at you, For Honor, and it's a lot of fun. I'd recommend checking it out if this is your thing. Hopefully, this is explained exactly what it is, because trying to explain what it is in a single sentence is hard, because there's a lot of it, and it's not a really good tutorial. So if you do get in, I'd recommend finding somebody, a friend, or watching a tutorial video, watching this video. But yeah, that's all I got. So again, thank you so very much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.